Hey, what's up, mi gente? It's Anthony Rosa, the community finance coach, aka Mr. Remedy. Happy New Year! Today is
Woo!
first Money Monday segment, fresh start advancement, lunch and learn with my buddy Pete Romano. Super excited to have you on today, Pete. Happy New Year! It's good to see you. Why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd? You're not new here, but there might be some people watching you that's new. And again, if you're watching on the live, please hashtag live. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. Pete, you know what to do. Introduce yourself.
What's up, Anthony, and Happy New Year to everybody out there. I know that all of us hardworking small business owners are thrilled to be back on, I guess, the first official day back from the holiday, and I'm no different. Anthony, I'm really excited to get into some of the newest achievements of what our company has been working on over the last few months. I know you and I had a great working session tomorrow, and I know we're going to get into that. For those that don't know me, my name is Pete Romano. I'm a New Jersey native. Anthony and I go way back. We have a great origin story where we just hit it off, and we just had the same philosophy on business, the same philosophy on family, the same philosophy on spirituality. And I'm just so thrilled to know that, Anthony, you are right next to me on this entrepreneurial journey that I've been on. And I can't say this enough, and I say this with all the authenticity in my heart, that when I wake up in the morning every single day, knowing that you are by my side in my entrepreneurial journey gives me the courage to just get out of bed, put my feet on the floor, and just get to work. And so thank you
Well,
for that,
I appreciate that. You think about me that early in the morning. Send me a text message while you're at it. You know,
Anthony.
I'm really big on these positive affirmations, motivating each other. Right, iron sharpens iron. Everybody, today's Money Monday Lunch and Learn segment. We're talking about CRMs and AI. How can you leverage it? A lot of us right now, P, are afraid of it. I think it's just a lack of knowledge. I myself have had gone on this amazing learning curve, just kind of getting an understanding with different tools that I can use for my business. And, talking about leveraging AI, Pete, what are some of the things that Segwick has done over the years to kind of understand the direction that it's going in and being able to be so comfortable with it? Like, what makes you so comfortable, and how have you been able to kind of maneuver with some of these tools that are out there?
AI has been an absolute game changer in all things business, and especially in the CRM business. Now, you mentioned CRM, and you said, well, a lot of people are frightened by that. Well, I would be too, because what does it stand for? If it needs to be abbreviated to CRM, chances are it's probably something frightening and complicated and complex. And I like to say, or I joke to say, that people that come to us with their CRM problems, they're using it like it's a 3-letter, 4-letter word. And so we like to get rid of that. We like to remove the mystery about what CRM is and really begin to explore the value that these tools can bring the business owners when the proper knowledge is there, and when people know what this tool is exactly used for and how to get the most value out of it. That's what we really wake up for. We recognize that this type of tool, the CRM, the client relationship manager, is the absolute most important tool in any business owner's toolbox. It's more important than your email blasting. It's more important than your credit card processor in a way. It's more important than your website. Your CRM is your brains, is your business spinal cord. It's your business's muscles. It's your business's long-term institutional memory. Sometimes I like to say that if it doesn't exist in the CRM, if it's not logged and recorded as something in the CRM, it might as well have not happened. Because if you're the only one that knows that you talked to a client, if you're the only one that knows that somebody left a note or filled out a form on your website, and it's not documented for the world to see, well, then you've just shackled yourself to the business by not taking this information off of your chest and unloading it into a proper tool. And a proper tool means something that will give you energy back. not just loading it in, but helping you with the next step. If you can't unload that off of your chest, off of your mind into a tool, then you're shackled to your business forever. And that's what we're all about here, is removing the shackles, letting you be the entrepreneur that you've always wanted to be.
I mean, and with all that said, that was a good explanation. It's frustrating for business owners when they're trying to learn a new tool and they just got a lot of things going on. Even myself, right? Just in a relationship with children, I sit on a couple boards as an organization, as a member from the organization. And, just it's all in the follow up, they say, right, Pete? And going to these networking events and getting referred these clients and managing my doctor's appointments with my kids, and it could be overwhelming. And there's sometimes, I don't know about you, I'm not perfect. I try to be perfect, right? But I think that with some of these tools that we're going to talk about today, it kind of helps me uh, with less distractions, right? Of things that pile up, right? That get disorganized. And the problem is there's a solution, but sometimes that solution is more harder to find than it is to deal with. And so we just put it off, right, Pete?
Right, right. Well, right here, you guys can't see it, but right here on the whiteboard that's behind my camera, I have a little corner where I'm saving all of my most important things to remember. And if you were able to see this, you would be able to see a little piece of text written in black Sharpie that says, using Segwit creates less problems. Like you just said, everybody who comes to our office and treats the CRM like a three-letter, four-letter word, um, they're coming to us almost like they're coming out of an abusive relationship with a spouse. They're coming to us where they say, "Oh, I have a CRM, but I never use it, or I don't put enough information in. Oh, I need to log things more. I know it can really help, but I just can't get into the habit of this." And I say, you got to dispel with all of that. That sounds like the CRM that you were using was verbally abusing you, saying, "You're not giving me enough attention. You're not looking at me enough. You're not talking to me enough." And we've been in sometimes bad relationships like that where you just can't ever seem to make another person happy. But the CRM doesn't need to be that way. The CRM can be, when it's fully set up, a tool that outputs more energy for you than you're putting in to it. And you brought up a great example. You talked about, the people in our network. They're professional networkers. You're a professional networker. I'm a professional networker. Most of the people in our networks are people that are members of various groups, and they attend BNIs, they attend chambers, they attend LATIPs, they go to industry events. And what happens? They come home with a big pile of this kind of stuff, right? All of this, and I've got more over here. And for me, this is not real. These are props right now because we have our stuff organized. But for most of the people in this audience, the challenge of following up with people is very, very real. That's the hardest part. What if, Anthony, I'm going to ask you this question. What if following up with people was frictionless? What if you were able to easily follow up with the people that you meet? What if it was easy to get them to schedule a meeting? What if it was easy to follow the next step? Business doesn't need to be hard if we just take each moment of the business process, break it down, and solve the challenges one bit at a time. And that's what we're doing every day at Segwick.
So I think with that said, right, we're not here for this lunch and learn to kind of take up your time and talk your ear off. I'm super excited. Pete kind of opened up with it. He's been working on my systems. And let me tell you something, a shameless plug for Pete. I love that I can just have therapeutic sessions going on my digital voyage where I can just spit at you in a fire hose what I'm going through, what's going on, and you can kind of create this infrastructure and organize my thoughts. And we're going to see exactly that right now. Are you ready? Are you ready, Pete?
Well, before you just screen share, yes, you and I had an amazing session. And what we're about to show the audience watching is that when you're in business, you have to, we don't have to do anything. There's freedom here. But if you want to grow your business, it's our suggestion. It's our strong suggestion
Strong
that you
suggestion.
really you science your business processes. I ask for every business owner here to imagine in their minds, put everything away, get a whiteboard, get a piece of paper, turn off your phone, turn off your email, get away from your kids, get away from your boss, and write down every single step that the perfect customer goes through from the moment they learn about you to the moment that you close a deal. If you can't visually and in words verbally write down those steps in order, then you need to really focus on what is my business process. And that's what we're about to show you, is that for us in Segwick, that was a long journey for us as we started to figure out our methodologies, and we're working on that for you. But the point is that A always leads to B, B always leads to C. If something happens at C and we need to skip D and go to F, then that's what happens. But nothing happens in business that is improvised. There's always a catch to catch that edge case, we call them, and filter people back into a process that you are deciding. So with that said, sure, we could share with the audience some of the things that we were working on yesterday.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right, folks. So here's a quick glimpse of a part of our software where all of my upcoming meetings are scheduled here. But what I want to show you here is this pop-up box here. So when you're in a typical Google Calendar, when you're in a typical Outlook calendar, or even if you're using Calendly, what I hate about those is that when you go to Google Calendar and you throw in a meeting with a lead, you grab a box and you just click the time and you put a little title on it, and there's no rhyme or reason, there's no context to what is this meeting, what is the agenda, what does it mean to have a successful meeting, and what are the steps after that. And so these tools, these calendaring tools, are not really thinking about the full business process. And for us to grow our business, we needed these barriers. We needed to have these guardrails on our day-to-day behavior so that we could just work at an optimal level every day. You agree with that? We want to work at an optimal level as often as
I
possible.
think it's very important. Yeah, we need to, time is limited. We all have the same amount of time in a day. And I spend a lot of time thinking of the follow up, a lot of messages, sending reminders, a lot of tedious things. And, even as a finance coach, I teach clients, instead of going to the bank or sending a check, using online bill pay. Online bill pay is another online solution, I call it, that I can do things without having to do it in other ways that cause me to save more time. So
Right.
Pete, absolutely.
So check this out, Anthony, because you're going to love this here. So what we've done, instead of being a typical calendaring tool, what we've done is we've set up all of the different meeting touch points that it takes for us to get a high-end client from hello to yes. That's where we want to get. We want to get from hello to yes as quickly and as frictionlessly as possible. So check this out. You see how I have these meetings organized into these different categories?
Right.
Demonstration sales meetings, networking meetings, internal meetings, customer training meetings, solutions project meetings, client maintenance. And so right off the bat, you're understanding that, oh my God, wow, when I'm in business, sure, if you're a real estate agent, you might have an initial handshaking meeting, an initial get to know you. That meeting might be different if you know that they're a buyer versus a seller. So you might have a buyer's introduction meeting, a seller's introduction meeting, a property manager's introduction. Because why do you want to organize these? Because you want to know how to conduct that meeting properly. And you want to know how to conduct it because eventually you want to have a company that you want to sell or hire people to do the work. And if you don't have these steps documented, what you're doing is you're raising your expense to hire a more capable person. It's going to be much more expensive for you to hire a person to make up for all of the stuff that you haven't documented. So when you document your processes, you're actually lowering the bar for the type of person that you will be able to hire to help grow your company. And
Right.
so, do you think your audience, understands that? Sure, they understand that if you have no
Yeah, I
processes,
think
if you have
so.
no processes documented, you're going to need a super person to come in and be your employee. But if you have everything documented, you're going to be able to have maybe a college student or maybe an entry level person or just a mid level person. And so, of all of the myriad ways to document your steps, that should be one that stands out the most. But look at this. So for us, we call our first introduction meeting the Contacts to Connections Business Challenges Discovery. A lot of people just call it a discovery meeting, a get to know you, a challenges solution meetings. But we want to make our brand sound evocative and interesting and grand because we're really excited. And we have our mission right in the name of the business meeting, contacts to connections. That's our mission for you. That's our mission for everybody watching, is to help move your contacts to being solid connections. And
Hmm.
so after that, if a client wants to get into more of a deep dive, maybe they're super excited and they need to get in their CFO or their CTO, or they want to get another stakeholder who wasn't at the first meeting. All right, well, then that's when we'll do a deep dive. And you see how I'm even bringing visual life to
Wow.
this process. And so you see here that not only do I have a description of what that meeting is going to be for myself and for the client, but then I have the deep dive. And then hopefully that deep dive might lead to a proposal review meeting where we're going over any paperwork. And so, uh, what do you think about my 3 sales oriented meetings right there?
Yeah, I think, just setting up this show with you and you plugging this into your database, me getting the text message confirmations and reminders were good as reminders, right? Because, who doesn't like a nice quick text message that's not too invasive? um, and just kind of putting it into a framework or with a structure that helps me keep organized. And then when I just like the images that you have here that kind of separate what we're doing and why we're doing, so it gives life to my process, and it makes me being able to duplicate it again.
Uh, I'll tell you why we do that. It's not just to have a pretty picture, Anthony. When we are working as any business professional, us, you, those in the audience, it's so easy to just see the world through our own eyes. But we want to be able to see the world through our customers' eyes. And so, in everything that we're doing, we are telling it from the perspective of the client. We're putting our clients and our prospects as the star, the hero in a hero's journey. And so, in that sense, this is the hero who's discovering, who's learning about Segwick. And this is the hero and their team coming together around a table to analyze this solution more. And this here is the heroes sitting around the table to decide if this is a wise decision for them to move forward with Segwick. And then after the sales training, I'll just touch upon this. Let's say that they want to become a very high end client. They have a lot of challenges that they want to solve. Okay, well, great. Well, we're going to have a stakeholders kickoff meeting. And again, we're putting the client as the hero in this journey. And after the stakeholders meeting, you might have a working session or a stakeholder interview. And then in and around these types of events, meetings, here we go. Like when the client is really thrilled and when they're really using our tool at an optimal level, we schedule this time savings and comfort level check-in where the client is truly the hero. They're a super user. They are a superhero in their own business. They're a super user of our software, and they're just going nuts, just having these great tools and just growing like crazy. And so, if there's any lesson, any one phrase that your listeners can take away, is to put your client, put your potential clients as the center of the story in all of your marketing and all of your messages and all of your processes. The customer journey is paramount.
Wow, the customer journey is paramount. I think that improving my customer journey with my clients has helped significantly. I know we're running a little bit low on time, but I know you wanted to show a little bit about my customer journey, and
Sure.
I just wanted to, as we're transitioning right now, what is the call to action, Pete? I know you got something going on tomorrow. I know that you just created my digital card right now. So, what is
Mhm.
the call to action, and what could we do as a gift to give for those that are watching today?
Well, tomorrow we're going to be having our own seminar, webinar at 11 o'clock Eastern on Zoom. And so we would very much love if all those listening would simply find their way over to our website. I'm sure you could see it right now, right? And just register for Contacts to Connections, building meaningful client relationships at scale with Segwick. And if you register here, you'll be added to the list. You'll get some reminders for 11 a.m. Eastern. And those that attend tomorrow's meeting, they're going to have a very, very special treat to join our testing community, to be one of the earliest adopters of our iPhone and Android app. We are so excited at the launch of our iPhone and Android app. I just want to scream it from the top of the buildings while playing a big, massive saxophone.
If
Just
you saw us before, Pete kind of showed me this. What do you? Ah.
well,
Love you, Pete. What? How did we start off the show before in the green room? Get you right.
say, woo!
Woo!
Just you gotta get loosened up. You gotta get loosened up, right?
Have fun. All right,
And
so look,
so
we're
let's
going overtime, but we're showing something really special. This is intellectual properties, guys. This is my process as a finance coach doing credit repair over 9 years. I'm really thankful to be working with P for many years. And what you guys are seeing is a category breakdown of my process as I'm building out my sales process. So please, guys, if you're seeing this, don't tell anybody. I hope this inspires you to create your own category and sales process. So, Pete, tell us what we're looking at.
yes, so sure. So as this is all coming together, um, what I love about you, Anthony, is that you are such a big thinker. You are a big picture person. You have a big mission, and I know that you and I have talked many times about that and all the aspects of it. And the bigger your mission and the bigger your ideas, the more complexity starts to arise. And so we had a major, major breakthrough yesterday when we were on Zoom, just kicking it on a weekend. We were on Zoom for like 3 hours yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we started to figure out, well, what is the framework for Anthony Rosa's entrepreneurial journey? And what we started to recognize is that you're part of getting into Anthony's world, professional or personal or spiritual, is that Anthony hosts a lot of different kinds of events. And as Anthony is a busy business owner with children, a spouse, has his day job, is networking, is on boards, he needs to have the highest impact for the lowest amount of work. Highest impact, lowest amount of work. And just as I say that, think about your CRM right now. Think about how much work it is. It's basically a lot of work for almost no impact. Come to us, we'll talk about it. But check this out. For Anthony Rosa here, we're going to have meet and greet business networking. Maybe we're having bowling nights, pool tournaments, or you have this upcoming headshots and handshakes. But another category is these sporting types of events. You're having a pickleball event coming up, but sometimes you're doing personal and professional workshops. And so what I'm showing you here, look at live webinars. We're on one of these live webinars right now, right?
Yep, 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 yep.
So roundtable remedies that made you famous, right? And so, what we're showing you here is bringing organization and structure to your business, organization and structure, and to your mental processes. When you get your process down out of your mind onto a system that is actually functional, you get to live your life again. You don't have to define yourself as a busy business owner who's just always just inundated with work. We can make it less work. So this represents for Anthony the relieving of his stress, dropping the stress onto a system. So if Anthony doesn't need to rewrite the next bowling night, he just gets to come in here, click it, click next, put in the time, put in the location, invite who's invited, and fix the agenda and schedule it. And it's going to appear on the Anthony Rosa's website. It's going to appear in social. And with just 4 clicks in a matter of about 35 and a half seconds, Anthony has another event rather than going over
Can
to
you do
event.
that again? Because I have a lot of realtors that do step and repeats. Can you do that again?
Sure.
Because there's a couple more people watching us right now. Show them how you just created an event. Let's do that routine again, because that was powerful.
So check this out. So if we were doing a Money Monday for next week, we would simply click here, click next. We would put in that it's happening next week. And I'm going to be your guest again, right? Or no? Or a different
Yeah.
guest?
Well,
So C12. So 12 to 12:30. I know we're going over a little bit. We would put in the streaming location. We would put in who's invited here. It's got a little setup here and then finally the agenda, and then look, schedule. So now we've got a Monday on the 13th. There's nobody quite invited to it yet, but let's just say that for argument's sake, maybe I'm the guest there. To add guests and to add special guests is just a matter of going like that. And now that action right there is going to trigger so many high quality touch points. The person's going to get an email. The person's going to get a text. They're going to get a reminder. They're going to be able to chat with the text bot, asking it questions. They're going to be able to register or say, no, I can't make it. And so it's all about minimizing the amount of clicks, minimizing the time, and maximizing the value that you get from a system.
wow, this was powerful. You know, I can't think of a better way to start the year than working on this. And this is not something that we just started working on. We've been building this up, talking for years. Last year, just improving the processes, constantly evolution. Is a part of this. And I can't say thank you enough. One last thing before we going into our final thoughts. This before we go into that, Pete, completely changed my business, changed the way that I think, changed the way that I operate. So thank you so much. Without you, I wouldn't be able to kind of be doing what I'm doing now. And so with that said, going into the final thoughts of the show, real quick, talk about what you're doing tomorrow and what are your final thoughts on today.
Well, like I said earlier, our core mission is to help businesses move contacts to connections. A contact is cold. A contact is a piece of paper. A contact is a row in a database. A connection is a person that you have a relationship with, that you've shared things with, that you've spent time with, that you've done business with, that you know that they have children and what their names are and what their birthdays are. And so for a business owner to do that at scale, it's very, very challenging. It's very challenging to run your business and to grow it and to manage the voluminous amount of relationships it takes to make money and grow. So tomorrow and every Tuesday at 11 a.m., but come tomorrow. Don't wait. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Zoom, join us. Register at segwick.com for the Contacts to Connections webinar, where we'll be deep diving some of this stuff more. We'll be deep diving what it is about the small business world that is so challenging, that's holding people back. And like I always say, one little tidbit of information that you pick up from myself or anybody else on tomorrow's webinar can change the entire trajectory of your business. One little tidbit is all it takes for you to say, oh my God, I never thought about meetings that way. Or, oh my God, I never thought about client management that way. Or, oh my God, I'm in an abusive relationship with my CRM. I got to get out of this abusive relationship. Come tomorrow at 11 a.m. on our Zoom. We want to see you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all these nuggets. Thank you for your time. We're definitely going to see you on again in the future on another Money Monday segment. You know, with a lot of problems on in the world and a lot of chaos, I want to close with a closing quote. Quote of the show tonight is from yours truly, Pete Romano. Using Segwig will give you less problems. Pete, don't go anywhere. Hang out in the afterglow. Go in grace, go in peace. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. We're going to be super consistent with these Money Monday Lunch and Learns. Don't forget to get involved in our Innovators Hub Morning Huddle every Monday at 8:30 a.m. We have 2 events going on this upcoming month in February. You don't want to miss it. Follow me. Ask me anything you want. I'm an open book. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something new today. Peace out.